Hey guys, so we're out here at Alapata Flat still. We made it to the actual campground, and this place is gorgeous. It's got all this Spanish moss hanging in all these elder trees. We got a palm forest behind me right here, some nice lush grass. Got a neighbor, Jack, he's super rad. He's also a nomad doing the whole van life thing, except he lives in like a tiny Honda instead. The last couple days I've been learning how to do knots, and I thought it'd be cool to show you some of the ones I've learned. And I've always wanted to learn knots, because how many times have you been in situations where you need to like tie something down or some cargo or something, Home Depot runs, whatever, and you're doing all these like weird knots hoping that it doesn't come loose. At least that's from my experience. So now I've learned a couple of pretty dope ass knots, and I'm gonna show you what they are. Rome City, by the way, this beer is so good. It's from Lakeland, Florida. I'm contemplating going to the brewery. It's an American IPA. I got a 6-pack of this yesterday. Can't stop drinking it. I got this water jug here. That would be a good example of how to do these knots. I've got the rope here. So this first one's called a lark's head. This one is good for like tying off toggles or like tying off to handles if you're going to be carrying something like buckets or things like that. Normally what you would do is you would take like a shorter piece of rope. I'll use this dog leash for an example. So what I'm gonna do is just make each end even on both sides like this, and take the middle part. And how many times have you done this? You just put it through the loop, and then you feed the open ends through the loop like this, pull them through, and that's your lark's head right there. And then you can like lift it up or whatever. But I thought it'd be cool if you don't have a short piece of line like this, to figure out how to do this with just one open end of a rope. So now let's reenact that knot by just using this end. So you put it through one end, you go under the piece you just fed through, then you're going to go back around and go back the other direction, and then through the loop again like this, and there's the same knot. Lark's head, lift it up, cherry. This next one is probably the most basic knot of all. It's called a slip knot. They use this a lot in rescue missions for like if someone's drowning or about to get eaten by sharks in the middle of the sea or something, and the helicopter comes by and ties this knot around the person's waist to lift them up to safety. So you take the open end, you put it through whatever you're trying to hoist. You're gonna go over this line like this, hold it with your, just pinch the two like that. Then you're gonna take the open end and go under both of these lines. So it's like this, and then you just feed this through the loop like so on the opposite side of the line that you're tying to, and see how it's making that knot already. So pretty much it's a basic knot that you're just encompassing the other piece of line that you're attaching to. And now you have this awesome slip knot that can go all the way up, and you can actually use it to hoist, because as it's getting tension on the line, it'll actually tighten up on itself. And then when you need to release it, you just easily pull the slip knot down. You can feed the line back through and just unravel it. This next one has always tripped me up. When I used to trim trees and do a lot of groundwork, I could never get this knot right. This one's called the bowline. I think it can withstand like 9,000 pounds or something crazy. I can't remember, but this one's kind of trippy. It's a little difficult. Before you start feeding the line through, what you're gonna do is form a loop on top of the rope like this. Then you feed this end through. So now you have it like this. Maybe I'll switch hands so it's a little easier to see. So this is how I learned it. You have the rabbit, and the rabbit comes up the hole. It gets freaked out by like something crazy like a tiger or something. It goes running around the tree as the tiger's chasing him, and then it's gonna run back down the hole. I don't know why my voice is doing that. And then you just tighten it up, and you got yourself a bowline knot. It's holding tension around the tree part, and that's your bowline. There you go. I got a few more for you guys. You ready? This one's rad. It's called the clove hitch. This, you just go through what you're trying to tie off with 2 loops. Then you go through again, and then you go up through that loop, and that's what you call a clove hitch. Isn't that cool? It's a pretty knot. Pretty knot. This one probably is my favorite one. It's not necessarily a knot that you would use to tie something off. It's actually a way to create a loop with just a single piece of line. So this one's called the fisherman's knot. What you're gonna do is create 2 slip knots on each end, and then you pull it together, and they're gonna tighten up on each other. If you just always keep in mind, for most knots, you're gonna take your open end line and put it over whatever the line is that you're trying to tie off. So in this case, I'm gonna go, let's start on the left side here. So I'm gonna go over this line, and like the other slip knot I showed you, you're gonna go under both lines, and then create the slip knot on this side. So that's 1 knot there. Got my other line. So you're gonna go over, then under, and then create this slip knot on this side. Like that. And then when you pull the 2 together, you've got this sweet looking fisherman's knot that's really strong, and now you've got an entire loop of line. So this last one I'm going to show you guys is actually pretty difficult to show on a jug like this, but I'm going to try again. I've got my dog leash. This one is pretty much identical to the lark's head knot, but this is a double loop through the handle, and it's called a Persix knot. Feed it through like this. Make sure that it's pretty wide. You're going to go like so. Then you go one more time. So see how you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of that, and then you feed your 2 open ends. Make sure this is all good. I believe that's how it is. Doesn't look quite right. Who knows? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm lifting it. I'm gonna try it again. I think you just feed it through 1 more time. So this is your regular lark's head, right? Bing, bing. If you just feed this through again, and now you've got 2 loops around your handle, and you still have this one. Then you feed this through, and you've got yourself a Persix knot. That still doesn't look right, but hey, I'm lifting it, baby. There you have it. Now you learned a couple knots. I'm not the best teacher, but I have fun with it. They've actually stuck in my brain. I haven't really had to practice them too much, and they kind of just come naturally after a little while. So with time and practice, you guys can learn these knots, and next time you have to impress your friends with some badass knot or something, you got them in your arsenal. So if you guys like the video, be sure to follow and subscribe. Bulbas Big Adventure. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day and please my dog by throwing the frisbee a million times. You guys have a great week. Bam.